Jack Hooper always turned in his homework late. I never raised a jibe about it. Partly because, well, it was so good. A while ago, he came up to me after lecture one day with that look on his face that said, "I'm going to ask a stupid question." And as usual, I probably wouldn't be able to answer it. He said, "Professor, you told us today of how Ryan got his belt." Yes, and where was he going with this? Well, why don't we still believe that? Because it's not true, Jack. Well, of course, but the ancients, they really believed that stuff. And we can't believe that. We have to believe that it's a big ball of gas in the sky and that it's nothing else. They believe that there was some real meaning in the universe. I mean, I know it's crazy, but what if there really was, say, a man in the moon? I know it's crazy, but still. He was that kind of student. I don't know, Jack. Maybe there is. I hope it doesn't affect your grades, though. Who knows? Maybe he was right. Maybe there really was a man in the moon. Maybe he was more right than he'd ever hoped. The Woman in the Moon, an unpublished story by C.S. Lewis. That was 4 years ago. Ironic, I had just finished the same lecture on medieval cosmology when I was phoned up by the UK Space Agency. Apparently they needed someone with a degree in neuroscience because the latest space mission to the moon reported that the astronauts were suffering from what they called psychological damage. Well, they were going to the moon, right? What they expect. I showed up there that weekend. I was introduced to the flight director, McPhee, who led me down to the video room and gave me an overview of the situation. He had one of those voices that sounded like he had been through absolutely nothing. "I believe that this mission to the moon was unsuccessful." Well, no, not unsuccessful, because we don't really know what happened. There were 3 missions. They weren't reported because we haven't heard from them since. 2 astronauts, 6 of them in all sent in pairs of 2. After 4 hours into the moon entry, we lost contact with them. We don't really know where they are. We presume that they were dead. He showed me the videos. All 3 of them had the same story. They were doing the usual experiments, 2 pairs of astronauts in every single one, and right at the end of it, it blanked out. Now, the reason why we called you, Professor, said McPhee, is that we think that the astronauts were suffering from what I call the psychological damages, as I said in my letters. That is, that there might be some kind of virus on the moon that was causing them to be aggressive, or maybe, well, cannibalize each other. Well, if you like to put it that way, yes, maybe. That's why we need you. We want to know if you think you detect any strange behavior in the astronauts before they blacked out. Well, I looked at the video time and time again. All the astronauts seemed to have the same story, and it didn't seem to make sense because a virus takes time to develop, and these seem to just snap off. And they seem perfectly healthy. I asked McPhee, why are you so quick to disregard the idea of intelligent life on this planet? Or, planet? It's not a planet, it's a moon. Well, I know, it's a moon. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, why can't this be a dangerous mission? Why do you even want to go to the moon? McPhee didn't really know where I was going with this. Well, it's progress, see? I don't believe that it could be extraterrestrial life because, well, if it was simple life, it wouldn't be able to overcome an entire spaceship, let alone a human being. Says who? Well, we are the dominant species on Earth. Yes, on Earth. And you're going to subjugate the entire universe? McPhee was one of those types of scientists, and he leaned in with kind of a gangster schoolboy's whisper and said, "Yes." I didn't like where this conversation was going. You call yourself the pinnacle of human evolution, but really, are you? What's the best that we've got? A city. A tsunami, an earthquake, a volcano, a comet, one shake of nature's mantle, gone in a flash. You call us the strongest species on Earth, and call yourself the strongest species in the universe. The universe can crush man like a reed. Who do you think you are? McPhee said, "Who's afraid?" "That's your problem, McPhee," I told him. "You're not, and you should be." I proceeded. The lecture I gave on medieval cosmology was still ringing through my head, and I couldn't get it out. You see, the ancient Greeks, they believed that there were 7 planets in the sky. The Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, and the Moon, or Luna, the goddess of the moon. Now, of course, I don't believe these things. I don't believe in gods or a god. It isn't true, but what do all these ancients have in common? Fear. They feared the cosmos. In this generation, you have no fear. Where's your fear? There is a power in the universe and in nature that you are completely oblivious to, and you're just going to try to mutilate it. I said, whoever is killing, or whatever is killing those astronauts, is a force not to be trifled with. You should cancel this mission. I began heading out of the door, taking my cup. McPhee said, "Wait, we're sending another man, on his own. His name is Jack Hooper." Oh, Jack Hooper. The boy who believed that there was a man in the moon. When is he leaving? Next week. I'll be there. I didn't even get a chance to see Jack Hooper. The spaceship took off, and I only could hear his voice on the intercom. It was a 3-day journey to the moon, and we recorded every single move. He was enjoying it, to be sure. I could imagine the look on his face when he stepped down on the moon for the first time. All his dreams coming true. I could hear his voice cackling in the radio. "UK Space Agency. Professor, are you there?" I can see the face. I'm most certain I can see the face. Of course he can see it. He's got that imagination, He seemed to be enjoying himself. I mean, he was on the moon. 4 hours. Nothing seemed to be going wrong. And then he began to run out of oxygen. So I decided, well, I guess it was time to leave. Goes back to the spaceship. Then McPhee saw something on the video. "Oh, look at that. In the background, there are 6 pillars. Oh, they look like statues. Ah, see, maybe there is extraterrestrial life if they'll be able to carve an entire human being." Human being? "Jack Hooper, this is McPhee. You have to get out of there. Those 6 statues, they're the astronauts. They became stone. I don't know what the moon's doing, but they became it. You have to get out of there now. Get the hell out of there." McPhee, this is Jack Hooper. I can't feel my feet. I can't move. McPhee, this is Jack Hooper. This is McPhee. Do you read me? What do you see? I see a shadow. Something's behind me. Something's coming closer. What is it? Well, it's a woman. Who? It's her hair. It's flailing behind her. I can't. Hallucinations, maybe. Unless there really is. Who's afraid? It's just a story.